past couple of years, so many of the activists in the video game industry have been getting called out, and gamers are extremely vocal and willing to boycott products that are being made by individuals who hate gamers' guts. And unfortunately, over the past couple of days, a lot of these people have truly highlighted how much hatred is really in their hearts, as Sucker Punch senior developers were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, DC writers were, MSNBC journalists were as well, and interestingly enough, all of these people have now gotten fired. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description and follow me on social media. Now, obviously, there are thousands upon thousands of examples of these types of people voicing disgusting opinions online, and not all of them have gotten fired, not all of them have ultimately lost their jobs, but there are a few key situations that have blown up on social media that, yes, they are now facing consequences for. So, of course, Ghost of Yotei comes out in only a couple of weeks. This is a game that Sony needs to make a lot of money on, and initially there was quite a lot of hype behind it, but as time has gone on and we've seen more teasers and trailers, a lot of people have become much more disinterested in it, but now there are thousands of gamers saying that they're going to boycott it, showing that they have canceled their pre-orders, and well, it looks like this is going to be a very tough situation for Sony to navigate. It honestly wouldn't shock me if in the next couple of days they decide to delay it and they say, well, we actually need a little bit more time with it, or come up with some excuse, because they really don't want to face backlash for what their employees say. And we had seen this post going viral from someone named Drew saying that they were a senior staff character texture and look dev and annoying extrovert at Sucker Punch, and they had reposted lots of things over on Blue Sky, like he died doing what he loved, being a transphobic, racist bigot. These people will go around and call you all these names in the book, even though they don't have meaning anymore. It's like the word NZ, right? That used to have such meaning behind it, but now it doesn't, because these people throw it around like it's calling someone an idiot. And then they also posted, I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back, as if that's funny. And really, these people are just posting these terrible takes on social media because they're looking for validation. And well, it seems that they got the attention that they desired, as now so many people have paid attention to this situation that they are getting fired for it. Now, backtracking a little bit, there are tons of developers who are actually liking these posts, sharing similar opinions, like a senior producer at the Coalition, which of course is Gears, so Microsoft, another senior producer at Sucker Punch, many people on this team that agree with their opinions, even Bungie developers. But the Ghost of Yotei dev who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination has now been fired. They removed Sucker Punch from their bio. Now it just says their pronouns and profile account views are my own, though they said if standing up against fascism is what cost me my dream job I held for 10 years, I would do it again 100 times stronger. It's so funny that they claim to be fighting fascism when they are the fascists themselves, and they feel, I suppose, that this was okay to say and that they should not have been forced to apologize, and they didn't apologize, so they ultimately lost their job for it. Now, a very big problem with Ghost of Yotei is that there are lots of people that are a part of this team who seemingly share the same opinion because they liked it, because they reposted it, and I think that it is ultimately shocking that Sucker Punch actually got rid of this person, because yeah, this is the type of community they have fostered in their studios, though just because they got rid of one of these activists and really these disgusting degenerates who are praising and celebrating this death happening doesn't mean that the whole company mentality is going to shift. So I know that there are a lot of people right now saying, well, I'm actually going to pre-order it because they got rid of this person, but there are a lot of other individuals with these very similar opinions. Now, of course, they are free to voice their opinions no matter how terrible they are, and well, it seemed that they paid the ultimate price for it. We also have DC's Red Hood series being canceled and this person seemingly being fired. DC Comics has canceled its brand new Red Hood series following a firestorm of outrage against writer Gretchen Felker Martin, a biological male who identifies as female. The cancellation came after they publicly mocked the conservative commentator Charlie Kirk being shot to death and made inflammatory remarks about law enforcement. They said, "Thoughts and prayers, you NZ bitch. Hope the bullet's okay," after touching Charlie Kirk. These people have absolutely no sympathy for other human beings. It is absolutely vile. They only care about you if you share their same ideology, if you push their same political opinions, and if ultimately you follow the same playbook as them. These people do not care about video games or even human beings. They care about themselves. They are egotistical, they are fascists, and they are people who I don't want to personally support, and I know many of you don't want to support either. And it's really surprising to see DC and Sucker Punch, which is ultimately Sony, actually getting rid of these people because, again, they know that this is the type of community they've cultivated. These are the types of people that over the past couple of years, they have amplified the voices of 100-fold. We even saw MSNBC firing their analyst Matthew Dowd over the Kirk remarks. MSNBC fired its senior political analyst Matthew Dowd after he suggested on air that the slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk's own radical rhetoric may have contributed to the shooting that killed him. We also saw a couple of days ago them saying that they believed it could have been a situation where a supporter was shooting off their gun in celebration. Absolutely terrible comments to make, which of course were not backed in any sort of evidence. They were just spewing out lies in order to get clicks and attention. Hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. There's a very big difference between words and actions, that's for sure. You can't stop with these sorts of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place. Nobody deserves to die based on their opinions. It's not like he was a politician and a lawmaker and he was affecting the laws and policies of our everyday lives. He was just a political commentator, and it just goes to show how much hatred is truly in these people's hearts. And it's fine if you do not agree with every opinion Charlie Kirk ever had. I'm sure that there are plenty of us out there who do not agree on every single thing, but at the same time, he had a right to voice those opinions, just like these people have a right to voice their opinions. They can go on social media and make all these jokes all they want, but they can't expect to be protected by these companies, and they're not being. Now, there are plenty of people in gaming and entertainment that are not reaping the consequences of their own actions right now, but I think that a lot of companies are actually taking the situation quite seriously, and it will be interesting to see what happens, but they're facing a lot of backlash right now, and deservedly so. Savvy said his resignation is not enough for me. I hope this tanks the studio, but Savvy, I'm sure some good people work there. No more. Cowards keep quiet. The studio deserves to go under. I wasn't planning on supporting the game, and now I'm planning on boycotting it. I will celebrate when I see the news of massive layoffs coming from the studio. Disgusting. Okay, I just can't defend game devs anymore. It's infected with the most vile people on the planet. I wasn't this way when I was in the industry. People showing their refunds, saying it's woke trash developed by unhinged activists, and I do think that they are going to see a dip in the expected sales numbers. So I'll be keeping my eye on this situation and similar situations, but as of right now, a lot of these people are actually getting what's coming to them by losing their jobs and being put on leave. And while I don't necessarily know if companies' mentalities are going to completely shift, maybe this could be a wake-up call to some of them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.